Alright, so we are asked to solve this problem within the interval of 0 and 2 pi, so let's just get right into it. It's really important that we find every single solution within this interval. Ask yourself the question, where is cosine equal to negative 1/2 on the unit circle? And this is really important that you answer this question correctly because that really sets you up for the whole equation. So again, it's important to have a unit circle drawn out because this is really going to help you out, especially with this first step. So let's just find out. So 1/2 is over here, and cosine of 1/2 would be these two parts. So again, if you need that reminder, cosine is equal to x. So this would be negative 1/2, and then you would just find, okay, where is it equal to? So these two coordinates are 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. So let's just answer that question. So 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. I would always like to just be very diligent on this step because it's very important that you get this part right because that just sets you up again for the whole rest of the problem. So now let's write our equations out. So we're going to use these two coordinates to just write out equations. So looking back at our original given situation, you're just going to take 2 theta and you're going to put equal signs, and then you're essentially just taking these because this, you can get rid of this because we derived this from that. So you just take 2 pi over 3 and then add 2 pi k to indicate that this is always going to be the same exact point whether you add 2 pi. Again, 2 pi is the full period of the unit circle. So whether you add 2 pi, you're still always going to end up at this one point. So that's just what that indicates. And then, so this is going to be one of your situations equation, and then your other one is just going to be the exact same thing with your second coordinate. Okay, so this is what we're looking at equation-wise. Let's go ahead and solve these. So let's just start by multiplying each side by 1/2. So you'd get theta equals pi over 3 plus pi k. Again, if you still need help with the multiplication, you can check out my other videos on that. But that's just not what our focus is for today. And then you're going to end up with that, and let's do the second one. So you're going to get pi equals, again, if you just need that extra indicator, what is this going to be? This is going to be 2 pi over 3 plus pi k. And notice how this did get canceled out too, so. Alright, so now we're set with our two different simplified equations. So now we have to look back and be like, okay, we have to find every single solution between 0 and 2 pi. So again, that's just on the unit circle like I indicated earlier. But let's go ahead and do that. So this is where a lot of students get very confused. So you're essentially just going to take and I'm just going to use a different color so it can stand out for you guys. You're going to take pi over 3. And again, you would do the same thing for this solution. But you would do pi over 3 plus, and then you're just going to add 2 pi. And then you're going to solve that. So essentially, let's just multiply both sides to get a common denominator. So that becomes 7 pi over 3. And this is tricky because we don't see this appear on our unit circle. So this is not going to be an equation. So this is all we're left with, essentially. Okay, guys, so it actually messed up. So as opposed to adding 2 pi, like I just told you guys. Okay, guys. So now we're going to look for all the solutions. So I set up this sort of equation, and you're going to add pi. So again, so just be 3 pi over 3 pi over 3. in the simplest form. So you're going to add pi and see where it gets you. So you get 4 pi over 3. This is going to be great because this is still within range of 2 pi. Remember, keep within 2 pi because that's what we're asked, essentially. So I just like to do a check mark so I know that's good. So then you're going to keep adding 3 pi. Or 1 pi, sorry. And then you get 7 pi over 3, and this is obviously not within the unit circle, so you're just going to do x. So let's just derive these two equations to the side. So you can just start writing your final answer. So x equals pi over 3, because that's what we got up here, and then 4 pi over 3. So those are our two solutions so far. We still have to do this exact same thing for this second equation. So let's go ahead and do that. So 2 pi over 3 plus, we just need to add pi. So it would just be 3 pi over 3. So that's 5 pi over 3. This is amazing because this is within the range of the unit circle. And then for this, you're just going to add pi again. And that's 8 pi over 3. So this is obviously not within the range of the unit circle. So then we're going to add these two to our final answer. So it'd be 2 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. And this is our final answer. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. You guys know my email. Or you can just comment questions. I hope this made sense to everyone, but again, let me know. I'm so happy to help if you have questions and whatnot.